All right, welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. And I think it's not a bad day, to be honest with you, because we are seeing that ICP is showing some signs of life here. I think this was very important because at some point the community had been feeling like very much weary, but to see that ICP is trying once again to break above this resistance level here is something that is very much energizing, at least for me, because I know that this kind of movement is going to be beginning something that is very much big for the ICP price, and I'm very confident that we're going to be breaking the highs that we were having back in March, right around $21, and even go way much higher. I'll show you obviously my personal price targets and really where that is coming from. So without me further running my mouth too much, let's start here on the 3 daily time frame. And we were saying that, you know what, pretty much each and every single of these rejections that we have seen for the ICP price have always come from the RSI not being able to break above the 50 mark here, especially on the 3 daily time frame. Right now, we also established that, look, if we happen to break and crack above that 50 mark on the RSI, this is usually when we are having the big bounces, like the one that we had from late last year until something like March this year, which was right around 700% here for ICP. So this brings me to where we are today, and we can clearly see that we have obliterated that 50 mark here on the 3 daily time frame. And if history is going to be any indication of the future here, we are looking to break that resistance once again, right around $10.50 all the way up to something like $11.70, $11.50 we can say. So I'm very much optimistic that ICP is going to be able to do that. And from there, really, I expect the price just to do amazing, right? Man, exciting times are just about to show up here for you. And for me, we are all going to be winners at the end of this whole thing. So yeah, I mean, we may be worried that the resistance will not be broken. Yeah, and it may not happen just yet, but whatever the case may be, eventually this whole thing is going to break, right? And according to what I've been seeing of late, this huge horizontal resistance have just been obliterated. For example, this is Algorand, right? You see it had also its massive resistance here, but the chart just shot above it and it never looked back, right? We also had a good example of that here with Casper, which I'll show you real quick. That, yeah, Casper was also, yeah, look at this resistance. This horizontal resistance was very much a strong one, but Casper just blew above it and then it never looked back, right? Maybe it's having a backtest right now. That's a story for another day. But the bottom line is that most of these altcoins have not been respecting those resistance very much. And again, if there were going to be any indication of what the ICP price was going to do here, this is what is expected next. So I'm really not going to be surprised if I see a 30% plus in one day here for ICP. In fact, I'm actually expecting those, 20% plus daily candles in a day. We are also taking a look at this chart that is resembling the performance of ICP versus Bitcoin, and you can see that, yeah, for a very long time ICP has been obliterated. Ever since March, you can see it has lost value so much against Bitcoin, but now we're at a point where reversals happen. This pattern here you see is a falling wedge, and usually these are bullish patterns, meaning that ICP is likely going to be outperforming Bitcoin here, reaching the top of the wedge, meaning that at least we could see ICP outperform Bitcoin in a ratio of something like 1:2.5 or 250%, we can say, right? That's really, really great. I was posting about this earlier on, and I was even showing this bullish divergence that we had seen, and a lot of you loved it on X. I was posting. Now, also, if you analyze the last value that we had with ICP, you realize that it was also coming from something like this falling wedge, the same thing that we have right at this point. So I think we're in safe hands, and I think the biggest takeaway right now is that rotation has begun with Bitcoin and money is now flowing into altcoins. ICP is going to be one of the recipients, and we're just going to be fine. We're going to do well. Now, before we continue, I want to kindly ask you to help me spread this video just by delicately tapping the like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, and people looking for ICP Internet Computer price updates will now be able to find this video much more easily. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, because that's what we always do here with the ICP price. When it comes to long-term price, I guess I've always said time and again that the market cap of ICP here is indicating an inverse head and shoulders pattern, where you can see that this is one of the shoulders, this is the head, obviously. Then you can see that we have the formation of the other hand in play right at this point. We don't need much for this whole thing to break towards the upside, because if you measure here towards the neckline, you're looking at something like 60% at this point. This is not a lot. If you think that ICP can never do a 60%, I don't know really why you're holding it to begin with, right? But at the end of the day, what we are looking for here is obviously a measured move of the price from the top of the head towards the neckline, and you see something like a 12x or something like that. So if we go ahead and try to measure the same thing from the neckline, and you happen to be closing towards something like $112 billion in terms of like the market cap of ICP. Now, if you do that calculation, you realize that you'll be looking at each ICP towards something like $220. And I think it's something that is very much possible. Why do I say it's possible? We are always debating that ICP is a very much competitive chain and it can compete with things like Solana, BNB, Sui, and the rest of them. So, like, can I limit to say that it will never get to 112 billion? I think it's something that it can achieve, but am I saying that everybody should take profits when it only gets to $220? No, there are always going to be rejections along the way. For example, you can clearly see that this $85 mark is going to be a big resistance for ICP. That could also mean that it's a good area to be taking profits, but I think that eventually we'll be able to reach the $220 because I'm looking at the situation like this, saying that, you know, if ICP happens to clear this bar of resistance right around, we can say that is maybe, you know, $18 billion, is going to be much more like price discovery, and we know what happens with price discovery, right? Like there is irrational exuberance that comes into this market and people are just willing to buy something no matter how expensive it is. So yeah, don't be surprised that somebody's going to be buying ICP for the first time at $100. It's the dynamic of the market, right? That's how early you are to this. You see you've got an opportunity to do a 10x and somebody's going to be buying ICP at that level for the very first time, man. I don't know what to say, but I probably should just be saying congratulations because, I don't see a scenario in which we have this whole bull cycle and ICP doesn't participate in it. I think that's actually a much more delusional stance, to be honest with you. So let me just make sure that I deliver this message from our partners over there at BingX, the exchange. They've got this campaign that they're running that if you're a new user, sign up with them with the links that are going to be in the description. You can go ahead and claim up to $5,450. And on top of the 300 ton tokens, right? The event is going to be lasting 8 days from now. So I think you should make use of that and look at the links that I've put in the description. And of course, if BingX is not for you one way or the other, you can take advantage of this Bluefin exchange. They are having this deposit to get 10% cashback. I think it's just a fantastic concept altogether. And this is going to be lasting, I think, a week from now. So from the 22nd, which is today, until the 2nd of December. Yeah, make use of this one too. The links are always going to be in the description as well. So we've got BingX, then we also have got Bluefin. The Bluefin one is deposits to get like a 10% cashback. It's great. Go ahead and take a look at them. And with all that being said, I hope to see you and talk to you when ICP has already reached something like $12, $18 right there, right? We're going to be so euphoric, and we're going to be throwing a party actually, right? We'll see what we'll do right there. So thank you so much. Have a good one. If you could, please subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends and family. Bye-bye.